So I had Superman 2025 review on my channel and took it down and was back and forth with it honestly for a while. Because my first time watching it, I liked it more, and then subsequent watches I liked it less and less. Um, Overall, it's a very disappointing big budget film for James Gunn to start the DC universe on. And there are going to be spoilers in here, by the way. So everybody's probably seen this movie by now. But first of all, the positive is I think that David does a great Superman. I would actually put him up there with Christopher Reeve. He's got that hope and feel of the late Christopher Reeve. There are hints of that, you know. Henry Cavill was great Superman as well, and always would be my second favorite. But David Cornsmith and Christopher Reeve are tied for me as a good Superman. And it's unfortunate that the rest of the film doesn't surround him with the greatness that this film could have been. The actress who plays Lois Lane is fantastic, does a great role here. I love the fact that they set up here where Superman and Lois Lane are in a relationship, so there's not this original garbage. And that's the other thing. I like the fact that this is not an origin story. They didn't need to have an origin story. And it starts off crazy where Superman, the first thing you see is he crashes down near the Fortress of Solitude. He's been beaten up. And before that, it kind of like some of there's a kind of a crawl ish where it says that he's been known for a couple of years and the world knows about him and everything. So this really goes ahead and does not do a origin story in there. And Crypto, you got to give it to the cute dog playing Crypto. It's cute. There's moments in there where you're like, okay, this is fun. Um, some of the action is nice when it actually does get down to it. CG a lot. There's some CG that works, some that doesn't. Um, I really like Mr. Terrific. I think he's an awesome character, and the actor that plays him is awesome too. Like the side characters there are really good. Nathan Fillion is Guy Gardner, the kind of asshole Green Lantern. He does a great job there. The actress that plays Hawk Girl, unfortunately, she's only in for a short period of time. Would have been nice to see a little bit more of her. Um, So yeah, there's positives in this movie, but the thing that I'm going to talk about that drags it down for me are these things. Lex Luthor, not the actor playing him, he does a great job there, but I find that like the writing of Lex Luthor just basically controlling the environment around Superman for most of the movie. He gets arrested and then he gets contained in a prison in a different realm with him draining his powers and all that kind of stuff. Uh, uh, Not a fan of it. Not a fan of it. I think you know Lex Luthor being the main villain. There's just two. There's other Superman villains that they could use. I just find that Lex Luthor here is just kind of we'll throw him in because everybody knows him. Like, there's Brainiac, there's Metallo, there's, other mm, villains there's Lobo. They could have introduced Jason Momoa here as a villain in this one, to be honest. That would have been cool. Maybe that they do that with the next film. I don't know. But Lex Luthor to me is just a tired old villain, to be honest. Like, he's got this building and he has all his geeks with him and they spy on Superman wherever he goes, and it's really that part of it is just boring to me. And Superman getting his ass kicked like a lot. Okay. Man of Steel did it so much better, and it was an origin story, sure. But I like the fact that, like, as he's kind of learning how to fight and he's learning his powers, he does get thrown around a bit, but like, there's a point to that where it's like he's learning how to adapt. Where you have this film where Superman is like already adapted, and I mean, it's fine for him to like, be thrown around and everything. I mean, if you have a hero that's just like untouchable, it's boring. But I just feel here in the way that they present it is almost an attack on his character, if that makes sense. It just doesn't gel with me. Okay, even going back to the Christopher Reeve Superman 2, when there's a point where Superman gives up his powers to be human to live with Lois Lane because he feels like he doesn't need to be saving people or whatever, and eventually he comes to realize that's not the case. He's got to own up to being that hero that everybody looks up to save the city and save the people, and he gets his powers back. It has a point in that movie too where I feel like in this one it's just this doesn't gel. The biggest thing with this movie, the biggest plot point, is the fact that they turn Superman's parents into assholes. Where it's a plot point in getting Superman arrested, where like you Lex tells the world he gets into the Fortress of Solitude like that, and he accesses Superman's computer, and then there's a message in there where apparently Superman's parents were like, "Go to Earth and pretty much take it over," essentially, and I'm like, "What the hell?" And even I have to admit, Superman's parents in this one are kind of like, eh, they're okay, but they're not as strong as they were portrayed in other iterations of the Superman character in live performances. I just feel that they're weak here on both fronts. His actual parents and his Earth parents. I felt like the plot points there were just shit, and it took away a lot of this movie for me. Um, Eventually, yeah, Superman wins the day, but the overall this film just felt that there's too much disappointment over the positive stuff. I hope that the negativity or criticism of this film makes James Gunn's next Superman get better, because I think David Cornsweet earns that. He earns another shot at being Superman. I like him as Superman, and I hope they continue with this actor as Superman. I think he's awesome. I think he's the best part of the whole film, and at least they got that right. So, watchability. This one, I mean, if it's on, sure, but it's not a film I go to watch again. Um, I watched it 3 times, and that's it. I just don't feel the need to go back and revisit this. I'd rather go and watch Man of Steel, or even Zack Snyder's Justice League, because Superman's awesome. He returns in an awesome way there with Henry Cavill. But overall, as a Superman movie, I think this is probably the weakest. I mean, there's Superman 4, which was terrible. So that's definitely going to be number one. But as far as like a Superman film, it could have been so much better than it turned out to be. And Supergirl with the trailer, it just looks like another Gun type film where it's like missing the point of these characters, I feel. Supergirl looks to be more entertaining than maybe Superman, but we'll have to see. But that's my overall review of this film, just pondering all this time on it from last year when it came out. And I was anticipating this film quite a bit, and it dropped the ball. So I don't hate it. I don't hate the film. I think the cast is great. I think the effects are there. It's just the writing is the issue here, just the way it was done. And that will forever lock it down as a disappointing ass Superman movie. And not the best way to start the James Gunn run, in my opinion, there of what he has to offer here. So that's all I have to say about this movie, and I'm frankly sick of talking about it. But that's it. If you have not seen this movie, and yeah, I gave you spoilers, of course, check it out. Form your own opinion. You might like it better than me. I think it's got potential in there. It's got some moments, certainly. But where they go with this character from here, I hope for the better because it deserves to be better. But whether or not Gunn will take in that advice and kind of like go from there, who knows? I think this is just a misstep, and Superman, this iteration of Superman can build on the misstep. So that's it.